Hey everybody, how you doing? Saws on the farm here. Had something interesting I figured I'd show you today. I got a Farmertec clone saw that I built a while back, and it's been running really good. Haven't had any issues with it. I didn't port it or anything like that. I just assembled it. I did do a base gasket delete, and I set the squish at 21 thousandths. And been a great saw. Been running really well. I let a guy I work with borrow it and to cut some trees up on his property. I wasn't worried about the saw. You know, it's a clone saw. What do we really expect to get out of them, right? But I figured, you know, it had a big bar on it. It's the MS 440 version or 044 or whatever you want to call it. It's been a great running saw. I've cut multiple cords of wood with it. I haven't had any issues. And I let the guy use it, and he said it ran out of gas on him and he couldn't get it started. So I said, no big deal, whatever. He had it for another week or two. I said, did you try to start it? He said, yeah, I tried. I can't get it to pop or anything. I said, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'll straighten it out when I get it home. So I just got it home here, and what I ended up finding was something I've never seen before, and I'm going to show you. I think it's a manufacturer thing, but basically it popped two bolts right off of the jug mounting bolts. It took the heads right off, and it looks like they just popped off where maybe the Torx was stamped into the bolt like it was a cheap bolt. You know, I mean, all this stuff is just the Chinesium stuff, but it looks like the heads just popped off, like maybe they were stamped too deep into the head. So I've seen this situation before on some Allen head bolts where I work, where the Allen head was actually stamped too deep into the head, and it made it weak, and the heads just popped off. I've seen that before, but I thought it was pretty interesting because the saw would fire if I shot some gas down the throat, and it would run for a second. Didn't sound good. It wouldn't rev up or anything, but it would run. So I'll see if I can get you switched around here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, got you turned around. We're gonna check this out. See if I can get a view of it for you. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. It took the front one and the rear one on the brake side of the saw, took them right off. So actually this is a good spot here. When they stamp form these things, it just went a little bit too deep. Like say cheap hardware, cheap saws, you know, what I'm going to do is pop all this back apart. I don't believe there was any damage to the piston. I got a ported muffler on the front that I made. I looked through there, everything looks good. It doesn't look scored, anything like that. But I think I'm gonna try to replace these bolts with some OEM bolts and put the saw back together. I'm gonna try to, well, I'll show you, wiggle the head here a little bit if I can. Man, this isn't easy. Yeah, see, I can wiggle the head. It just popped those heads and it lost compression as soon as it did. So, but other than this one issue right here, which I think is a manufacturer defect in the screws themselves, this has been a really good saw. I've really worked it pretty good, and I've been impressed with it. Even though it is a clone, and you know we don't expect a lot from them, but they let's see if I can turn that a little bit for you. Where are we? Yeah, this is not easy. Yeah, I don't see any damage. I don't see any scoring, anything like that. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I should be able to fix this thing without even, you know, having to buy any real major parts for it. This side looks like the bolts are still there, and obviously I'm going to replace them all because now I don't trust those. So one more thing from the clone saws, just shows you that things are a little bit cheaper. They're made differently, but overall still been a very good saw for what I paid for the kit, and you know, building it myself and yeah, it's just been a good saw, and I've always run a 32-inch bar on it and cut a lot of big wood with it and no problems. So I'll probably do a video on pulling this thing apart, and we'll check out the cylinder better and look at the piston and make sure everything's good, blow everything out, clean it up, and get it back together and get it running again. Because I do like using this saw. It's a nice, comfortable saw, and it actually does make a lot of power. So I'm happy with it. But anyway, thanks for watching.